All right. Well, first of all, today's speaker we have is Pratima Kushwaha. We're so glad that she's with us today and giving you a brief about Pratima, right? So she's already a cybersecurity specialist over like a decade of experience in various important segments. Like this is something which is like very critical, right? When it comes to risk and compliance, governance, basically more closely related to the policy making and I've been seeing her working a lot into the OT security as well, which is very, very important and upcoming, trend in the cybersecurity market, I would say. And also she's more passionate into giving back to the community through cybersecurity awareness campaigns or motivating people how to stay safe or cyber vigilant, right? So, and she currently works as a cybersecurity officer at Keppel Data Center in Singapore itself. And she's certified in CISM and C-Risk recently, I guess, right? Congrats on that certification as well. And once again, we are so happy that you have joined us and using your weekend time to share your awareness and insights on this segment. So I would pass it on to you, Pratima. And you can share your
Thank you, Precious. Thank you. Very warm welcome and great introduction. Thank you. Good morning, everybody who joined today on the Saturday morning. I hope you were really a little bit also interested in the cybersecurity. Great to have you all here. So moving on, let me back to my presentation. Can you see my presentation?
Yep.
Okay, great. So for the introduction, Precious already introduced me, so nothing much I have to say. Just to give you a little bit of background, when I joined this industry, it used to be more on information security. 10 years back, it is not cyber in that. And as you see, as we evolve in our digital world, we are moving towards now artificial intelligence. So of course, in 5 years down the lane, we will be talking about AI security, how cyber and AI is gonna, mix up, and how cyber is gonna come into the picture, all these things. So yes, now 10 years now, I'm in a cybersecurity. Before I was an information security professional. And yes, we are keep going, keep evolving. So this is a very interesting area, and I really enjoy working in this area. I hope you all or someone are interested or wanted to be part of that community. More than welcome, and come and join our workforce. So okay, so today's agenda, I have just like Precious mentioned, right? I'm very much interested into the awareness. I like the cultural development of cybersecurity side. Because people usually think that cybersecurity is your IT security, and as a user, as a person, you can't do nothing about it. It needs to be some expertise and everything. That perception is very wrong. At least I don't believe in that. So what I wanted to bring into the people that, okay, look, you also play a part for my job actually. So let's see how you can play your part, and then how you can contribute. And if you're interested, yes, of course, you can go in a path and a train and a expert level as well. But as a normal end user who have a digital footprint, like you have an account, right? You have a TikTok, you have an Instagram, you have all digital accounts. If you have a digital footprint, if you're using your mobile phone, if you're using a laptop, you're connected to the internet, that means you are part of my team. So let's just have a look like how I wanted to do it and what I usually do, and just giving you a little bit background. I'm sure few of you already heard about these things, and few just to refresh your memory, and few who are new wanted to know more. Most welcome to join this community. So let's start with the basic, just a short, not going to too technical, just the layman language, what we need to know and all. So what exactly is cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is, you heard as like a nowadays known as digital security. 10 years back, it was information security, because we just wanted to save our enterprise information, right? We were not on cloud. We are not using cloud that exhaustively and all. So whatever in the enterprise, we wanted to safeguard that. Now, as we evolve, we come into the cloud, and our digital footprint has been increased. So now it is called a digital security. And the securing our digital footprint, like our crown jewels, like for our information, our assets, our devices from bad, malicious, and bad actors staying out there, is cybersecurity. That's what my job is, and that's what it works. The team works on the cybersecurity. Now, moving towards the third pointer here, which I mentioned here, cybersecurity is a process, not a product. This is which I wanted to very much emphasize here. Cybersecurity is not a technology. It's not IT. It's not something which you just say, okay, no, I have a cybersecurity, I have a technology who can secure my thing. No, it's not. Cybersecurity have three important pillars, which comprised of people, process, and technology. Yes, technology plays a very good part in there. However, the people and process is very much as important as the technology. It's like, you have a fast car, but you don't know drive it. It doesn't look good in the garage, right? So it same happens here as well. You have a very expensive technology, but your people doesn't know, your management doesn't put process in the place to use that. Your people doesn't know how to utilize it. It's no good. So yes, so cybersecurity is a process. It's not a technology. So don't think that it's a product or it's a technology. No, people and process have a same contribution, and I believe in that they have more contribution than technology actually, than to make this work actually, to make it successful. And last not the least, is cybersecurity is a team sport. So never think that cybersecurity can be done by a single individual or a cybersecurity specialist or not. No, everybody have to contribute in that. And moving forward, I will point number third and fourth, I will just go a little bit more detail about it. So first thing, that why, why I'm sitting here, why you are here with us, and then you wanted to know why this is important, why this session is important, why we need to do all these things. So there is few things which is in right now very, you must have heard it, and you know that what kind of damage these things can do. So cybersecurity is securing these threats, these risks in our digital environment. So first is data breach. You must have heard every day nowadays, it's somewhere in the world, some geographical location, it is happening. So data breach is basically when your crown jewel, your important data has been, accessed and taken away by the bad user, that you can't have access to it anymore. So data breach is something who is like the person who don't need access to that, or the unauthorized person having access to your important data. Unauthorized users accessing your devices. So you have device, could be anything, your personal, your day-to-day, your work laptops, your phone, handheld phone, tablets, anything, any mobile devices. If that your password has been stolen and that the device has been compromised due to your password. So these things come, and these bad actors sitting outside in the world, they are trying to do all these things. It's not like they are there to trying to harm some way in an enterprise. Motivations could be anything, could be financial, could be the way they want it to be on the news. You never know, but they are trying to do. They are keep trying to do every day. Loss of confidential and important data. Yes, just this ransomware attacks happens. They encrypt your data, and they only give you as when you pay the ransom to that. So if you don't take care of your data, you don't take care of your core crown jewels, lock and key properly, it might get stolen by these bad actors. Identity theft. Usually what happens, they take your credit card. Identity theft usually happen when they get your credit card information, your CVV, and your name, and then they go online and they shop, and they pretend as if they are you because they have your confidential information with them. And online scams. Online scams, Singapore, it is like full on right now going on. Some job offerings happening, some carousel having a scam going on, something which is not legitimate. They just duplicate carousel and online shopping kind of stuff. They contact you via your WhatsApp. I have a job offer, and a lot of scams are happening to the elderly right now, which is with regards to their CPF. And you trust me, you can't believe, a lot of elderly people have lost a lot of money, and they all their savings. So imagine that happening to someone. So the thing is that the best part of this thing today, if you take away some pointers, right, it might not, you find it, no, I don't think so, it's not good for me, or I not use for me. But if you can help in your family or your friends who are not aware of it and maybe fall prey to these bad malicious people, right? If you can give that, pass it to them, that would be a very good step, to do that. And again, as I say, you're part of my team only. Then you are part of the cybersecurity team who's trying to safeguard the digital world and the people. Moving on, like I say, security is a process, not a product. So please don't think it's a technology or it needs a it's niche when it comes to very specific things. But as an end user, right, as a process, right, like focus on the process, like on the process basis, there is few things which you can follow anywhere, your personal life, your professional life, and in your, you can tell to the others as well. If you follow a few processes in your day to day, it's kind of hygiene, if you follow that, you will be you can be cyber safe. So, okay, yeah, good. Technology is there, antivirus is there, we have patch updates coming, all these things are there. Get me wrong, all good. However, there is few things which, enhance it, tighten it up, the hygiene which comes from the process. So let's talk a few of process, what we can do, right, in our day-to-day. Applicable to your personal and professional, it's just applicable as an individual, what you can do. So let's start. So there is few pointers here for you to think over it, and some maybe you are following, some you might not be following. So you can think about to follow that, and then you tell to your family and friends as well. So for example, data backup. So data backup is always a good practice to back up your data, put it in a secure location. The backup should not be like 30, like 6-7 years old. You make sure that it's on a hard disk which is tested, and in case if your laptop get lost or crashed for some reason or corrupted, you have a data backup, right? So that will not stop you to go, work further down. So first thing, you need to make sure you have your data backups. And professional life, trust me, data backups, IT people always make sure that the data has been backed up. Second, good cyber habits. So good cyber habits is mostly on the having a vigilance, right? So you have seen a lot of phishing calls. I'm sure you must have come across mails you have come across. And then this tech support, oh, you need to install a team viewer because your laptop has some problem and I will troubleshoot you. Tech scam calls. So that kind of. So as an individual, as a person, before you act on these emails, because they play on your psychological, they are very psychological tricky, they tell, oh, now they play like, no, reply now, otherwise I will disconnect your StarHub right now. Oh, do this, otherwise I will do this. So that kind of things come, right? It plays on our psychology. So make sure you pause, you look at whether this is expected to come or it is something fishy, which I'm supposed to reply or not to reply. Should I supposed to click it or not to click it? So yes, so think about responding to these kind of baits who comes into that. That's a very, 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 very basic. Just think, pause. Don't just react on it. Respond to it. Pause it and then reply to that. You look into that whether it's really, really, really authentic. And if you feel a little bit of doubt about that, just don't do that. If something is going to happen from MOM is not going to give some fake person to call you. They will call you back. And if you doubt, then just call back to them and check whether we can, a bank is calling you. Why a bank is calling you from a fake number, right? So you can call back, always confirm, but don't click on these malicious links. Keep your software up to date. Oh yeah, this is one of the hassle, right? Every time Microsoft Tuesday, Thursday, this thing comes up, software update, patch update and all. And we all feel like, no, why? I don't want to do it today. I'm in mid of a work and all. You can snooze it, but please make sure that as a hygiene, like, it's like washing your hands with a soap. So that kind of thing, make sure your software are updated, you patched and all. Now, what else we can do? We can have our passwords, right? Our passwords we use every day. Make sure your passwords are unique and it is kept secure. Don't stick it, at workplace, in a college or anywhere, don't stick it everywhere. Just keep it like very, very much to you only. Don't share it if it is not needed or required. And now it's not about strong password. You must have heard about passphrase. If you have heard, it's like, it's more longer. You keep it with something with your memory so that you can remember it. So please use a strong password. Any account is your professional, it's your personal social media account. Please make sure you use a strong password. Use multi-factor authentication. Yes, another thing which comes with our digital evolution of digital landscape, we now have a multi-factor authentication. So it's like having two kind of authentication, one which you can do with your password. Second, you come in with an OTP, which gives a second line of defense, which is like checking on you that whether you are the right person and somebody have just stolen your password and getting into the system. So 80 to 85% applications now provide the OTP function, right? The second level of security authentication. Please enable it, use it. It's for to safeguard your accounts and lock your devices. So whenever you're working or at your, working from home, working at office, or you're anywhere, when you're walking out, even for the washroom break or anything, just lock your devices, have it password secure, and it's a Windows L. This is just a shortcut key. You just Windows L and walk and come back and then re-log in. So always lock your devices when you're not sitting on your desk. Now coming to the people part, right? So like I said, cybersecurity is a team sport. So yes, you might not be actively working toward these things, but you are involved in here, you are passively included in here. How, you will ask me how I can be. So say, for example, your family have elderly and they don't know the scam, but they say, oh, listen, this is a call coming and there is something wrong with my bank account. They come to the younger generation, right? They ask, and as you tell them, oh, it's a scam, it's not the right thing, please disconnect the call, don't reply to it. And if you tell them that thing, that little bit of contribution also is making aware, the community, and it's contributing back. So make sure if it is something you find out fishy, right, you report it back to the relevant authority. If you're doing so, you are doing your part, and you're part of this, you're playing your team sport actually. If it happens in your office workplace, you know that who to report, maybe your RO, maybe you have a security team, or maybe you have IT team. Please report it, right? If you find something, please report it. That's your contribution to do that. If you're in college, you might have an IT department where you can get the support from, or you can report that, okay, you need to just report it, right? Rest, they can analyze, they can come back to you, oh no, this is authentic or not authentic, right? So just don't react or act on the things. Just have a pause. If you find something, if you know that it is phishing, then definitely report it. If you don't know that, okay, then let the IT department check it. You are doubtful about it. And the one which is your authentic, you were expecting some messages, email, definitely respond it to whenever you need to. And of course, if you are having, always don't feel shy, always tips, you can share the small tips, whatever you take away home today, or anywhere you learn, just take away, share with the people around you. And as just a small step can go for long. Now, moving forward, how can we, we can be the part of it. So there is a SANS report came, like people have become the primary attack vector for cyber attackers around the world. So human rather than technology now represent the greater risk to organizations. It's a SANS 2022 security awareness report. It says that. So yes, I agree that, okay, people are the weakest link, no doubt. But my opinion are on the other side. I would more than rather than to be the paradigm shift, like, okay, no, I think so. If I make my people to be aware of these risks, I think they are my greatest strength. I would see in that way. And that's why I would like more, I really advocate for the awareness culture and all. So this is that it's again saying that, okay, technology can do so much, but our people will remain our greatest strength. And once the people are aware, then they know what they can do to contribute. They will do, and then it will become our cultural part of our culture. It will not become a top of our overhead, that cybersecurity, or cybersecurity, oh, this guy is security guy, oh no, I have to do this, that. That attitude will be moved towards that, okay, I can update my laptop 4 hours after, I can do that, not a problem. I don't need an IT guy for it. Okay, fine. So these things, like as you embed in there, it will be part of your life actually. And again, the one first thing, be vigilant. So it never being, you don't have to act immediately, pause, think, and then respond. So you will not get trapped of these psychological tricks. So moving next is what is our keys to the kingdom? Our accounts, passwords, and our devices, right? They're all my important stuff sits there, right? So how you can protect? There is just few tips. you want to, you can follow, you want to take away with you, you can pass it to your friends and family as well. So yes, if you comes to your accounts, please do enable multi-factor authentication. It is mostly provided by most of the applications nowadays. Make sure you have your OTP service also enabled. And when you must have known like Gmail and all, they come and come with the thing that, okay, is this location is your location where you're accessing this, device and all. So that helps a lot. So if you can enable it, that would be one of the things to secure your devices and accounts. Don't reuse the password. So it's like you are using one password for I don't know how long. So don't do that. Try to change your password, permutation, combination, whatever you can, and whatever you can memorize. And always make sure that keep separate your social media account passwords and your professional accounts password. So uh, you know why, right? Because you don't want to get it all compromised in one go. So make sure if you can keep passwords separate for each account. I know there is an overhead. Oh, how can I remember all the account passwords and all? So yes, that's a very reasonable question. That's a correct very, but nowadays there is few things you can, I mean, few technology you can use, or you can do some passphrase kind of tricks and all. So there is few things which can help you in that also. Now, how to protect my devices? So everybody have a device, right? Handheld device. A few things I looked into more on the Windows side because I believe. Sorry, I mean I know the coders and all use all Linux and everything, but I'm just here for the Windows because maybe in your family, your friends are most on the Windows-based devices. So what you can do to safeguard it is like a user firewall. Microsoft comes with a firewall. Please go look into your settings. You definitely, if you're enabled it or not enabled it. If you're not enabled it yet, please enable it. Make sure your softwares are up to date, like we talked about that. Make sure it comes when it comes, you can keep updated because it's the outdated softwares have the vulnerabilities, and definitely there is out there bad actors who's gonna exploit it. So if it's a matter of you just keep updating where it's coming. Antivirus softwares, please keep it in your laptops. Don't disable it. I know it takes it's very little nowadays, but please make sure you enable it. And passwords, very make it a strong password. Don't open suspicious attachment. So please don't get trapped with the psychological tricks. Okay, so it's not, if there is there are definitely legitimate, if there is a problem, then the legitimate authority will call you, but not like these fake numbers. And also don't fall prey for it. Browse the web safely. So don't browse the web, don't browse which is the browse the tabs which is like illicit content on the that. So whenever you do it in a safe mode. You can enable it now, the latest web browsers. It can stop you to going to the sites which comprised of malwares and all. Stay away from the pirated material. Use the licensed version as much as possible. Download it from the trusted website. Don't just download it from anywhere. Don't use USB or other external devices unless you own them. So it's like sometimes you find a USB, very rare, but it happens. And then you just bring it and you plug it in a laptop. No, please don't do that unless just don't use that kind of products in your laptop and all. Okay, so I'm moving towards my last slide. And yeah, this is just wanted to have a little bit kind of discussion. This is what it is, our INFOSEC colorful wheel. So I'm sure you must have heard of, I'm a red teamer, I'm a blue teamer, I'm a purple teamer. Oh, I'm orange. So this whole cybersecurity word is full of colorful hats here. And this slide is just to give a view. And if you are interested in any of the color, you wanted to join the clan actually. So let's start with the yellow team. Yellow team are the builders, the coders, that you guys who build up the stuff. You're the architects and all, you build up the stuff. Orange team are the advocates, the the ones who provide education, interact with people and all. Red team are the breakers, right? So fine. So something Microsoft have built something, but they keep finding some loophole into that. So red team is the one who breaks the stuff. And blue team, before purple, I'll go blue team. Blue team is one which is called defensive. So they wanted to safeguard. So the red and the blue is kind of, on a war face to face. Purple team is the one which sits in between them. They look into the research. Okay, what's red team has come, blue team. So they integrate the tactics. So red team is the breaker, right? So they can only break before the blue team can defend it. So the purple team, they take the red team's tactics, integrate for the blue team. So making it like a bad thing turning into a good stuff. And our green team are kind of researchers. They automate. They try to make sure that we can. So automation usually helps in the cases where we have to respond on quickly kind of thing before the damage will be widespread. So green team helps in automation, doing research and all. And above everything, the white team is the one which is governance, which takes care of risk, compliance, and white team is the one which holds the whole program. So yeah, so white collars are the one who take care of compliance and everything. So as you see, everybody have their role into this circle. And if you are interested, you can join any of the, if you wanted to explore, you can go ahead and explore that. And as I say, it's a cybersecurity program, right? So what I mean, it's not a project who have a start and an end line, The cybersecurity program in any organization is an ongoing program. So you have to keep doing it. You can't stop it. It's not having a deadline. It will evolve. You will get new things to do. And as a BAU, business as usual, things to run. So yeah, so this is what it's like a circle, the INFOSEC wheel. And if any, you think if you wanted to join something, you wanted to share something, or you have any questions regarding that, feel free to ask or reach out. Then okay, that's all my slides today. That's all my sharing. Back to you, Precious. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pratima. It was like really insightful. Can you see my screen? Let me. Yeah. Can you see my presentation screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, first of all, for this very insightful session. Especially, I like the part where you focused on the PPT, right? People, process, and technology, and humans always being the weakest link. I think that is very important that we are aware that we are the first ones who is going to compromise before any technology gets compromised, right? I have a few questions, and we are open for other questions as well. Like I have jotted down based on the session, right? Like the first question I have is like, now you spoke about the phishing, right? Especially with respect to our CPF fund getting compromised or filters. Is there anything like basic tips, like immediate tips? I know it's a bit tough to convince the elders, right? What do you say, like one or two important ones, if I have to say right away without explaining much of technology to them? What do you recommend?
I mean, I would say because CPF happens to the elderly, right? So first thing is that whenever they receive this kind of a scam call, first of all, they should not react to it. That's one I would like to say them, because as we grow older, we are tend to we get very these are psychological tricks which the bad actors are playing, and there is nothing wrong. Even my colleagues get trapped. One of the things, right? You will say you can't. So the one thing which I would like to tell elderly, okay, just pause there. Pause that whether, and then ask somebody trusted advisor, right? Somebody to ask, do I really need something like that as a CPF? Do I really have to pay to go there, or some, the trick they're playing on it? Just check about it. So the thing is, for everybody, doesn't mean you need to pause there. You have to think twice before you react. And I will say not react, you respond to that thing, right? You pause, you think, oh, okay, and then you respond. You don't react. So this is one of the very important thing because these tricks plays on your psychology. Honestly, yeah. Sometimes even even I sometimes think, okay, no. Then second thing, what you think you should look is that the channel it is coming from is the correct, actually, right? Is it the so for example, I'm getting just a random call, right? Every day I'm getting a call and saying that, oh, your ICA, this is call from ICA, right? And your NRIC have a problem and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I'm a foreigner living in Singapore. That plays on me, right? Psychology. Oh, what happened to my thing? So the thing with the channel it is coming from, I know it's a number on my mobile phone, which doesn't say MOM. Sometimes they put pictures and all to bluff you as well. Again, I would say, pause it there. You say, okay, I will call MOM back. I will check that is there really a problem, and then I will respond. So yes, these two things. First is that definitely don't have to just react it on that. And second thing, check with the proper authority that whether I have real problems there. And then you can act on it.
That's really good. I think not being reactive is the key here, rather than wait, take a
Yes,
pause and go ahead for that. And you
yes,
spoke that even your colleagues have fallen part of this trap, right? I'm sure even we have sometimes unknowingly been a part of it. Let's say in terms of organization level, right? Do you conduct these kind of mock attack scenarios or mock phishing? Does this keep happening where you guys keep testing to make sure that the security posture is improved, right? Or
yes,
I would say, no, rather than security posture is the attitude towards the security, the culture, security
yeah.
culture is.
So yes, I think every organization have this phishing simulation exercise, right? And usually, how you trick the staff is like you use the latest kind of festive and all. So you don't have to trick them anything major. Christmas is coming. I will just send free cake for Christmas. Click here to provide your details, right? And free cakes there on a Christmas. Definitely, I would like a free cake, right? So that kind of, or that kind of, yes, simulation exercise, yes, we do that, and we see how we improve into the staff. And if there is a gap there, we try to make sure that the session awareness session has been done, the reinforcement has been done. So I think it's about like a muscle memory. Sometimes you are doing something else and you just see these things and you're happy, right? You may be stressed and you see, free cakes, right? You just click it.
Yep.
So that is the muscle memory is very much in this field. You need to keep reiterating that. So it might be boring for some people who knows this stuff, but it's always good to refresh it.
Absolutely. I think it reminds me of the first principle of economics. It says there's nothing called as a free lunch, right? So this
Yeah.
always comes with the cost.
Yes.
And I've personally seen, like, when we, in my one of my previous organization, when we conducted this kind of a simulation, 90% of the finance and the account team actually ended up compromising their credentials. So just
Oh,
imagine that's like a
yeah.
huge thing,
You,
right?
yeah, usually finance and procurement, they talk to the external, right? So they are very much vulnerable to these kind of attacks. Nowadays,
Absolutely.
I think there is a new one, HR one also came in, that you get a phishing email saying that share your CV job, and then people are sharing, and that CV contains, when you send them and then the documents come and all, that contains malware, which is like that. So yes, they are evolving. Definitely bad actors are evolving. And then please make sure, I mean, always, yes, make sure that you have your muscle memory refreshed and don't fall for it.
And especially if you have observed, these emails come during the peak work timings, like 12 o'clock in the noon, when you are actually busy in some meetings. It says, quick, please, you need to send this.
Yes.
Share your credential for a quick scan or something. So yeah, it's always better to be proactive in these cases and to report it as a phishing email to the organization. So
Yes, sometimes, yeah, you nowadays you have technology in place where you just report phishing. So if you're doubtful, it's like it's you're working, right, and some email come for, first of all, nothing is free, like Precious said, so no free lunches. If there is something you feel like, oh no, maybe it could be my, something which is relevant or not relevant, just please, if you are in the 50-50 of mindset, your organization definitely have something, report phishing, or just send it to your IT department, say that, is this legitimate or not? They will do a work for you, but don't react to it. Respond to
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. There's one question which is very interesting, and I kind of recently saw this as well. How can we ensure that whatever we download from the web is clean from malware, right? Maybe first I'll give it to Pratima, and later I can share my insights as well.
Oh, okay. So, of course, you have antivirus, right? So sometimes they make sure your antivirus is up to date so that they can scan the file for the signatures or a payload. And before you do, yeah, of course, source you have to check, is this a valid or not. Then second, your antivirus, your firewalls, if it is not legitimate, your pop-up will come up and ask, do you really want to download and all. And third is mostly like is exe file, macros and all. So before you enable it, just make sure that before you download the payload and all, make sure that you look into that, whether it's really, really legitimate or not. Yeah,
Right.
Precious, you wanted
Yeah,
to, yeah.
yeah. So I recently also came across it's a new startup in Singapore as well. It's called SquareDex or something. It's from a famous cybersecurity tutor who has now opened his new startup in Singapore. I kind of actually came through that. Let me share my screen maybe to showcase. It's quite nice actually. benefit of people, right? Again, this is not an endorsement or something. It's just so if I actually go here, right, there's actually a plugin called as SquareDeck. So if you enable it, you download any file, it will open as a sandbox environment rather than opening it on your laptop or something. It will open it up and it will give you a score, what you have downloaded, right? It's called disposable file viewer or disposable email. I think it's really nice what they have done. It's quite good that you don't need additional softwares rather than just in your Chrome itself. You download it and automatically you will be able to see a pop-up happening and it will immediately give you some sort of a sandbox environment. You can just drop in the files or whatever you download, you can open in this file viewer. It's going to give you a score. I think this is another good way to protect ourselves rather than opening it on our laptops or your system, right? Open it on your Chrome itself. And this should be one of the latest tools I have come across at least. So yeah, let me go back. Yeah, so that's one thing. And I'm very curious about this specific technology now with the upcoming AI, right? We have been seeing a lot of AI robots, AI marketing calls happening with the voice cloning and stuff, right? Now, do you think this is gonna actually impact the phishing scams more with ChatGPT giving like a very nice emails compared to the ones which used to be like a Nigerian prince emails where it used to be a lot of spelling mistakes? What do you think about this?
So this is happening right now only. So yes, with the chat GPT coming into the picture, the phishing emails is not having any more grammatical mistakes or the telltale sign which we used to teach like 3 years back. So it's already evolved, that one. No more Prince Nigeria is calling. It's more on coming onto the BEC side now, the business, the business enterprise compromise. So the emails are coming like it's somebody legitimate from your workplace, and there are no mistake into that email. And yes, it is already coming in. So again, awareness with regards to things. Are you really think so? Your CFO is going to call you for some money? No. So make sure that you look into that. You don't react, respond to it. So this is already coming into the picture, Prashant. So yeah.
It's very scary. It's very scary, actually.
Yeah. So in future, definitely this is going to be, and there is some incidents with the deep fake voice and image also is happening nowadays. It's already in the news.
Yep.
I think two technology which is going to evolve very soon, and we have to look into the security, artificial intelligence and deep fake image and deep fake voice kind of stuff. Yes.
There will be a case where you might actually get a video speaking by the Prime Minister of Singapore saying that, hey, you know what, we need help. Can you click on this link? It might sound very legitimate. Even the video might sound very legitimate. The best thing to check in these cases, what I feel is ask some questions, right? If you get a robotic answer again, that means it might be a fake, right? And there are high chances, 100% chances that the Prime Minister is not going to call you or ask you for any sort of a details, right? I'm not sure if you checked. Even the PM of Singapore recently shared a post saying that in his name, there are people asking for money and clicking on links.
Yeah, there was some previous case also. One of the MPs happened, and that's gonna come. Of course, that scams is gonna come up definitely. So yeah, rule of thumb, I would just say, just pause there. Does it really belongs to you? Do you think so? Somebody's gonna do that, and then just think over it and then respond to it. Just don't act on it. Yeah.
And one final question might not be related to the cyber hygiene, but a bigger cause, right? Like we have been seeing a lot of cyberbullying as well, right? These days, especially with respect to women who's getting like spammed in these kind of things, being blackmailed. Do you have any recommendation? How can women stay more secure in this case?
Yes, of course I do. Actually, our privacy is under our control, right? So I would just say that one very basic thing is like that. Make sure your digital footprint, what are you sharing? You want others to know, because anything you put up there, right? Just it's not like only one person or your friend list only knowing. No, it's not like that. Don't think that. It's open in the internet, right? So somebody can break into the system and get that information. So first thing, whatever your privacy, your videos, TikTok videos. I'm also very good TikTok. I'm also very excited, and through TikTok user and all. But whatever you are putting, right, it's there for the public. So make sure your footprint, if you are very shy, very conservative, you don't want anything on out there, just make sure your digital footprint, right, is very limited. It's just what is needed there. Don't click on I agree if you don't want to the third party to know your things. If make sure your privacy is, if you don't want to share it, you don't share it out there.
Yep. And also, right, especially young girls, if in case you feel you're getting cyberbullied, reach out to people. Again, it might be in terms of like security of your own personal security, as well as someone in the industry, right? The cybersecurity, what we do is you can't solve everything by yourself. It's a team game, like Pratima said, right? Reach out to your parents, reach out to the authorities, right? Definitely there is help, and it is a crime for someone who cyberbullies you. So
Yes.
make sure you reach out and don't keep it to yourself. Definitely there is help out there. So
Yeah, and if you have kids, make sure you have your parental controls in place, because kids are very vulnerable to these kind of bullying, right? It's just now, it's now from the woman, it becomes more to the children as well. So please make sure the parental controls are on. You review what your kids are watching, if they are under 12 or 14 years old, or as long as you have. I know sometimes they like their privacy, but I think to support them as a parent, you should make sure that you review their whatever they are looking in the internet.
I think for kids,
For their
especially open
safety.
communication. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think an
Yeah,
open
for
communication.
Yeah.
Awareness for them as well, right? You
Yeah.
openly give them some sort of like stories, or these days a lot of comics as well on cybersecurity. So maybe exposing them to be aware, like how to protect themselves, right? Can also play a major
Yes,
factor.
you pass the same messages to them so that they are aware, and if something goes wrong, they come back to you. They find their safe place actually. So yes, that's communication and all. You need to awareness also. You have to pass down them.
Awesome. Well, that's it from my end. Thank you so much, Pratima. It was like really nice having you here. And this is like, yeah, sorry.
Sorry to pause you. There is few questions in the chat box from the participants. You want to take it up?
Yeah, sure. I think we addressed few of them already. So there was one question saying that, would you like to share some testing projects for domain? I think this might be a different topic, such, but if in case you want to address it.
Ruth asked, right? I'm a software QA engineer right now. Have some interest in cybersecurity. What do you think my next step would be? And if I want to learn more about cybersecurity, something. So for Ruth, I would say there is a OWASP community for application developers and testers and all. There, if okay, I can. If Precious, you wanted to share the OWASP application security.
Sure.
Yeah. So this community, it's an open community, Ruth. You can join that community, and it's with the builders who creates, who architect. The vulnerabilities are with them. So if you want to create something, you want to test something, it's there while you're creating it. And you can learn from there. You can join this community. They're very good. They comes up every year with the top 10 vulnerabilities. And now there is one more API security. So API, we all know API, right? So the API security is also there. So if you're really interested, you can start from there. And of course, you can be part of the purple or a blue team if you want to. And next is I have a couple of networking testing projects, and I'm interested to broaden my horizon like you. Would you like to share testing projects or domain you? Okay, on a test and a QA, I mean, I'm not a hands-on one. I'm most on the white collar side. So basically, I look into the governance, compliance, and all. And the white team, for being a white collar, I mean, white team, white hat person, I make sure that my testers and all works on their application security or infrastructure security, like look every aspects of it. So I don't have anything personal projects. I'm 10 years back, maybe I've done it like college days, not remember that, sorry, top of the head. But for you, I can definitely say you can join OWASP thing, the OWASP community. You can learn from there. It's refreshing every year, and it's now in API and application security and all. Okay, so you have addressed, Precious have addressed question, right? And okay, so here is, okay, fine. Any other questions? I think no, right?
Anyone else?
Oh, great.
All right.
Great. Okay, done.
Awesome. Thank you, Pratima, for this wonderful session. Personally, I found a lot of good insights here as well. Though I've been into the industry, I think there's always new to learn, right, from every person. So thank you so much for this. Once again, appreciate it. And just to continue, we have an upcoming event in August again. This is a very interesting topic called as zero trust security. This has been done by Dr. Shravani Shapure. So please make sure to register for this, and we hope to see you again soon with a lot of new events coming in August and September. So thank you once again, and do keep following us on our social handles. We'll be happy to connect with you very soon again. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Pratima.
Thank you. If you have any
Bye-bye.
questions later on, you can just go through Precious and ask. I mean, you're part of the community and all. Thank you, everybody, for your time on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.